Hello everyone and welcome to Low Rhetoric Scale Modelling, and this is my build of the Revell 176 scale Humber Mk.II. Now before we get going, please consider subscribing to my channel. It's completely free, really helps me out. So this kit, one of my absolute favourites. I did this one quite a few months ago now, right at the beginning of my modelling career. So this one will be completely brush painted, and we'll have some basic weathering with some mud and some rust. Now I'm told that this is a reboxed old Matchbox kit. So any of the experts and the more experienced out there, please let me know in the comments if that's correct. I have no idea myself, and it would really help everybody that's looking to do this model. On first inspection, there are only two sprues and they look to be in good condition. There's no flash, and the plastic seems quite tough. Which is good for an old model, probably one with quite a lot of age in it. So I'm going to start by assembling the hull first and see how the fit goes. But when I'm holding them up against each other with the dry fit, they look like they just slot together really nicely. It's quite surprising how small the figure is, the model is at 176 scale. But it also fits onto a little diorama piece that comes with the kit, which I'm quite looking forward to getting a bit of mud effect going on there. Moving on to the diorama base, which is half a track and a sort of a muddy puddle. I'm going to put the first coat down of Vallejo's Dark Earth. Just doing a bit of a dry fit to make sure the two wall pieces fit in nicely. And then I'll have to figure out what colour I'm going to do those in. Duty egg box for a palette. This really was right at the start. I didn't have much equipment at all. But you can achieve great results with not a lot of equipment. So I'm going to give it a first coat of the Dark Earth directly. It's model air, so it's going to come directly onto the brush and onto the model with no watering down. Because I've got plenty of opportunity to play with the effect and washes. And I just want to see what it looks like when it's dried on. The kit comes with half a figure at 176 scale, half a figure, half a commander that pokes out the top. So every time I touch a colour that I'm going to use on all the ancillary bits, I'll go back and add a bit more to the commander. Painting the hull is going to be Vallejo Model Air's dark green. Again, not watered down, but just spread out quite thin. Lots and lots of thin coats rather than one or two thick ones. When that paint dries, it'll tighten up really nicely, and each thin layer that you add up really adds depth to the colour. And then we're going to do some mud and some rust weathering. The diorama paste has dried beautifully, so now I'm going to add a black wash. This is basically just Vallejo Model Air Black, heavily watered down by about 80 or 90%, and I'll keep adding either black or water as I go to make the black sit in the recesses and give the mud some depth, to give it three dimensions. And if you do this right, it can really make that diorama base pop. And you can add over the top, or you can thin right down and just do lots and lots of really wet washes, so that the paint pools and gives a really good realistic mud effect. Now the second thin coat for the hull. Remember to get in all the nooks and crannies and under the wheel arches, even though they're going to be absolutely covered in mud. And then the final coat on the ancillary parts before the final assembly. Now you can see here that after the diorama base is dried, that black wash really does fade back and just is only prominent in the dips and recesses. So another quick coat over that and give it a real good wash over. And then we're going to look at building the walls and then getting all of the three major components together before we start to weather. I'm going to use a much lighter colour in the puddle itself, so I'm using ochre. I'm just letting the paint sit in there quite thick, so it sort of dries with a very flat surface. And then what I'll do is I'll add a bit of a texture to that with the black wash. Get the final little parts that I'm not really going to see when the hull is glued down to the diorama base, but we really do need to paint them because it'll bug me if it's not painted. I wonder if you're the same. Moving on to the first part of the weathering, we're going to make some mud. So I made a basic tutorial about making mud. I'm using a bit of talcum powder here. But if you'd like to see that video, I've linked it in the description below. It's got a few little techniques for making mud look great on a model. I've remembered to slap some mud about under the wheel arches before I put the wheels on. It's quite difficult to get it in behind the wheels without, them getting in the way. Now moving on to putting some light rusting on the edges, just to make the thing look a little bit more realistic in the environment it's in. This is another thing, I made a short tutorial video about basic rust. So I've linked that in the description below as well. Please do check that out. And for those of you that like salt chipping, I did a salt chipping experiment too, and I'll also link that in the description. Now the final assembly is done and all the touch-up's been done, I'm going over the top of the whole thing with brush painting quite thick with some Vallejo matte varnish. And I'll make sure I get a good coating in the puddle itself. I know it's a matte coat, but it will actually give that impression of sort of a muddy looking puddle, which you can't quite see here, but you will be able to see, I hope, when it's finished. Not much to do in terms of decals. There's not a lot there to work with, but as you can see now, the matte varnish has really tightened up that base, and as my hands move over it, that puddle actually does look a bit wet. So I'm really pleased with the effect that I've got there. And there's the finished article. I'm really pleased with the outcome. The black wash weathering, the rust and the mud. I'm really pleased, considering it was so early on. This was maybe about the 5th or 6th model I'd ever done. Thank you so much for joining me. For those that have subscribed already, thank you so much. For those that haven't, please consider doing that. And please do consider dropping over to our Facebook page, Scale Modelling for Everyone. It really is a nice place to be. I think we're around 850 members now. Please do check the links in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.